Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another lovely vid. In this one, I'm going to be talking about the state of music as of 2008. At in back in 2008, that's the year I turned 30. Uh, so and it's not super long ago now. In fact, the state of music back then, not hugely differently than now. There are a few key differences, which I'll get into, but a lot of stuff that was kind of the state of music back then kind of still is now. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive right into it. What was the most popular type of music back then, 10 years ago? Well, pop seemed to dominate the charts in 2008, which it still really is now, so that has not changed. Rock was still hanging on a bit. Looks like Nickelback and Coldplay were in Weezer. Death Cab for Cutie. So like I guess some indie rock stuff, for lack of a better term. I hate to use that term. It's kind of generic, but it fits. So that's kind of what was, and of course that's the year I Kissed a Girl came out. Gosh, we can't forget that song. Katy Perry's still pretty big deal even now. I think. I don't know. I'm not. I don't. I do not follow the top of the charts. I really just research for these silly videos of mine. But anyway, back then I wasn't listening to any of that stuff myself. Of course, I was in my own little, hard rock, heavy metal bubble, which I happily live in, and back then was no different than it is now. So that's kind of where the most popular music was at the time. So there you go. Now let's go ahead and talk about what's actually more important than that, like industry trends and all that. So when we left off in 1998, CDs were hugely dominant. Uh, Media sales, and they were big. CDs were giant business in 1998. How are CD sales doing in 2008? Well, thanks to the rise of Napster in 1999 and several other things in the intervening decades, such as LimeWire, Kazaa, a few BearShare, a few other programs like that, and of course BitTorrent sharing. They fell off a cliff, right? And I think part of that had to do with the lawsuits that the RIAA was launching against individuals. Those ran from 2005 to 2008. I can tell you that during those years, I did not buy one single new CD from the shops. Right, I just wouldn't do it. I refused to support an industry that was actively suing its customers. And depending on what your personal opinions are on file sharing, I think suing your customers is a pretty bad business practice. So I just didn't buy any new music. I still did buy used CDs during those years, but I didn't buy anything new. So uh, obviously, back in 2008, MP3 players had been around for about 10 years at that point, and well, they were a pretty big deal. Smartphones had just, modern smartphones anyway, had really just gotten off the ground in 2008. The first iPhone launched in 2007. I'm pretty sure the first Android phone launched around that time too. So in 2008, we were just in the beginnings of the smartphone era. It hadn't really completely, at least the modern smartphone era, hadn't completely taken hold yet. So MP3 players were still something that people definitely used a lot back in 2008. Um, let's see what else. YouTube was already a great source. In fact, by 2008, YouTube was already the primary dominant way for people to watch music videos. By 2008, pretty much all of the world's music had already made its way onto YouTube, because YouTube had started a few years earlier. YouTube started in 2005, and by 2008, it was, you know, any music you wanted to hear pretty much was on YouTube because, of course, a giant development in between 1998 and 2008 was the proliferation of broadband. Back in 1998, obviously, all you had pretty much was dial-up. By 2008, broadband was very widely deployed. So, you know, you didn't have to settle for the crappy real audio streams anymore. You could actually get really good quality audio over the internet being streamed to you. It was entirely possible. Some of the streaming services were in their infancy back then. I didn't research every one that existed back then, but I'm sure a few of them did. I'm pretty sure Pandora was around back then, and probably a few others. So some of the modern rumblings of the current state of, you know, were definitely taking shape in 2008. So again, it was another giant, you know, change from 98 to 2008, and 2008, you know, is much more similar to today than I think any, you know, 10-year periods were to each other previous to that. So anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say about the state of music in 2008. If you think I missed something, got something wrong, whatever, let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like this, thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.